It's about 12 hours after initially hooking up the charger to these Lifepo4 batteries, and we're at 0.003 volts. So we got a ways to go. 24 hours later, only 0.003 volts, still at 0.1 amps. I'm going to bump it up to 2.2 amps. There are 22 cells, so I'm going to bump it up to make it 1/10 of an amp per cell. I just bumped it up. Now it's reading 0.008 and 0.1 volts at 2.2 amps for 22 cells. Should be 1/10 of an amp per cell. We're 12 hours after I bumped it up to 1/10 of an amp per cell. We're at 0.042 volts now, and we're still charging at 2.2 amps. That's of course spread out across 22 cells. Alright, it's been 2.5 days now since I've been charging these, and a day and a half at 2.2 amps. And I'm going to turn the power supply off and see what it's actually reading. The batteries have been on the charger for about, say, 4 days now, and they've stalled out at 0.2 volts roughly. By today, I thought, the ramp up that we were getting, I thought they were going to be up above that, but I don't know. I think I'm going to have to disconnect them and do them individually, because we are not moving. This is the second cell, that one that I thought might come back from the dead. That one is dead. It won't take a charge at all. This one's holding 2.128 volts, and I took the power supply off. It's been settling for about, I don't know, a couple hours now. I'm going to turn the power supply back on. Then it bumps back up. Yeah, let it charge at an amp for a while. See what happens. Quick update. This is that second cell that I thought might actually be still good, and I think it might be. It's taking a charge, and it's been charging at constant voltage pretty much overnight. It started off at 8 amps at I think 2.5 volts, and now today we're down at 5.8 amps, 3.5 volts. But I think it's at that saturation voltage. I think it's like about 3.29 volts. If I turn this off, I bet it'll drop down to about that, because it's just approaching that saturation. So from here it's going to take a huge amount of energy to bump it up into the 3.3 volt range, because that's where these things like to sit at. So we'll turn it back on and let it charge some more. But I have hope for this one, at least one. Well, that last cell that I tested this morning I thought was going well. Still taking 8 amps, and it's up to 3.35 volts. That's under charge, of course. Let's turn that off and see what happens. 3.15. Okay, so those things have their peak power at about, I found, 3.29. So here's the problem. It's warm, and this battery at 8 amps should not be warm. These things are known for being very, very high. You can draw, I think it's 2C on these things, so you should be able to draw 520 amps off this. So if it's getting warm at at 8 amps, then there's probably something internal wrong with it. So I'm trying something a little bit different here. I just wanted to show that the temperature of this lithium iron phosphate battery here, the one that's being charged, is significantly warmer than the rest of them. It's 80 degrees. The other ones are running about, I guess there's a little ambient heat coming off of this one, the first cell, but the rest of them are about 63 degrees. But this one is pretty warm, and that's been charging There's the charger right there. That's been charging at approximately 8 amps. We had a regression overnight, and we're now at, can't see that on that camera, but 2.95 volts. And it's still, it is regressed, I guess is the best word to put it. So yeah, we're kind of, I think, sunk with all these batteries. I hate to say it, but I don't see how it's going to recover at this point. So I think they're a bunch of scrap.